How you doing, guys? This is Lior Bar-El, and today we're in episode 3. How do you hone in on the skill of seeing energy? Those of you that see a little bit and it goes on and off. And again, I'm going to say this isn't for people who are not clairvoyant or have psychic abilities. Everybody's born with psychic abilities, but the thing is they're not they have blockages, and therefore they forgot about it, and they went into the education system, they're subconscious. So I don't recommend, like I explained in my intro in my second episode, I don't recommend it for people because once that don't have psychic ability right now, because if they do it, everybody's mind works differently. Before you know it, everything comes in one shot, and you can go crazy from that. So I don't recommend that. This is for people who already have this and they go on and off, and they're trying to hone into it to try to tweak it to work in their favor, but at the same time to be more powerful in it, to actually see it all the time. So I'm going to teach you a very simple trick, and those that don't have psychic abilities could do that, but just do it very slow. Take your time, please, guys. I don't advise people to get into that right now. Work your way to it however you want to. Learn to open your mind to little things first before you get involved into this, because this will make you see spirits. This will make you see energies in the world. I was born seeing people as energy. I didn't even see physicals. I could see energy in people, and babies are like that as well. They see energy, they don't see flesh. I don't care what anybody says. Scientists can't see what a baby sees. Babies see energy, they don't see flesh. They see it for the way it is, and as they grow, they learn to develop blockages, which then start filling in the blanks, and before you know it, when I was little even, I used to get glimpses. I used to see people as energy. Everything is energy. If you look at my past video, there's nothing physical in the world. It is all energy. Even the world around you is energy. Everything, the universe, all, space, all that stuff. It's all energy. So I'm going to teach you guys now how to hone in into that, and how to see, how to lift the curtain and see things for what it is. So what you're going to do is, first, those of you that have it a little, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is go like this with your hands, okay? Do this for about 5 minutes. Then after you do it, okay, I want you to go like this and look. Now, I know a lot of people saying, oh, my eyes are crossed or whatever. Focus on the center of your focus point, and just focus on that focus point. Eventually, what you're going to see is you're going to start seeing a light thing building around it, okay? That's what people call auras. It's your soul, but, it's your energy. So what happens is you're going to start seeing a light thing surrounding it, okay? Now, I want you still to look at that center point, but at the same time with your mind, which is hard, but you could do it, while you're looking at the center of the point, focus on the surrounding capsule, okay, that energy. Focus on that as you're still looking at the center, if you know what I mean. You could do that easy. With your peripheral vision is what sees spirits. Your peripheral vision is what sees past the curtains. But the thing is, people do not know how to train their peripheral vision well. They only train what's in front of their eyes. And that's kind of, I'm not going to say stupid, but it doesn't open you to a world of other things. I'm a good martial artist because basically I can see any energy coming from any direction. Nobody could sneak attack me. I can even feel somebody in back of me. So it all has to do with energy. And this is how you're going to learn to see things. You got to, the right way is to focus still on what's in front of you, but at the same time, pay attention, and you could still see in your peripheral vision. So make your mind focus on the peripheral. So it's the same thing here. You're focusing on the focus point, but you're on your peripheral vision. You're going to focus on the energy. Okay? Now, I recommend that you do this every day for about 3 months. You're going to hate me after this, and I don't want to hear curses, but I'm teaching you. If you want to do it, you don't want to do it, don't do this. Okay? If you want to open yourself up to that kind of world when you have on and off, and you want to see what the hell's going on, why am I getting on and off glimpses, because that's for you people. How do you see it all the time? That's the way you do it. Do it for about 3 months every day, okay? So I don't do it, I never did it on Shabbat. For Shabbat, I keep it pure. I know this is a pure act. There's nothing wrong with it, but just in case, I don't want to screw it up. I don't do anything that involves any type of stuff on Shabbat, because the Sabbath is the Lord's day. I don't play around. So on Yom Tov and stuff like that. But on every other days, that's what I ask you to do. You just focus on that and you try to make it, but it has to be 3 months like that, okay? So once you do it 3 months, and if you miss a day, you just do it the next day, but you got to do it 3 months, 90 days, whatever. After that, you're going to already start to see, it's not your hallucination, you're going to already start to see things in your peripheral vision, either something black going through really fast, which some of you already see that, okay? So that's people that are already open to it. You're going to realize that you can look straight and actually see spirits, even their lips talking, okay? And you're not going to hear them. That I'm going to teach you in another episode. But you're going to see their lips moving, you see, with your peripheral vision. Now, to a person, this is how it is, the peripheral vision. People that are not training their peripheral, it's like right in back of here. Even though they're in the side, you could kind of sense them, but you can't see anything. Eventually, what happens is, when you're training your peripheral vision, it almost becomes like you're looking right at it. So it's like you're looking at spirits straight here, and you could see a spirit right in front of you, but in reality, they're right here, looking at you. But that's how good you become and really focused you become. Now, I'm not telling you just do it 3 months. You should do it every day of your life. But I'm saying after 3 months, you're going to start noticing a significant difference. And that's what you start seeing. Then I want you to start doing it on things like controllers, right? Items, things that are items. So you look at that and you see the item has builds on it, okay? You start seeing things. I want you to start honing into this and take your sweet ass time. Don't just go all crazy and say, oh, I want to do it right now and this is the way it is. That's not the way it works. When you're stressing yourself out, it's going to lead to more blockages, and that's it. You're fucked. Don't do that. I want you guys to focus on every little thing. Now, before you know it, you're going to start seeing things. You're going to see spirits everywhere. You're going to start seeing spirits of people that, that are with you. I don't want to open myself up too much. I opened myself already. But I'm saying I don't listen to everything spirits say, because then it's going to be havoc and I'm going to go mad. Try to listen to one voice. I try now not to listen at all. Out of the voices, I pick and choose which one I want, and it helps me and whatever, but I don't choose to be the telephone, because, I mean, can you imagine if you're in the next dimension, you find somebody who's the only telephone to the outside world, dead or alive, they don't know who's dead and who's not, especially those who committed suicide and finally are learning to deal with it. You can't, or people that got killed, murdered, they think their murderer is still out there, when in reality their murderer died in like the 1800s, So they're going to be out to talk to you and to show you things and stuff. This is why I don't recommend this for everybody, because you're going to start seeing spirits that appear to you with a noose, spirits that appear to you with cuts all over their face. That's only because they think they're still living in this world. They don't know that they're in the next dimension. You understand? They have like a little, so it becomes very problematic. Now you have to learn how to shut it off. So first off, what happens is when you get to perfect it, start looking at Hebrew lettering, but not Hebrew lettering of like the modern day Hebrew. Paleo Hebrew. Okay, I want you guys to see Paleo Hebrew. Modern Hebrew is a fucking joke. Paleo Hebrew, I want you guys to look at it, an entire alphabet, and just stare at it for a while. And when you look at this one page or half a page, however they have it, try to encapsulate everything in one eye vision. Okay, so first look at all the lettering, but now remember, when you're training in your peripheral, even your down and up becomes center. Then when you become centralized, you see all of the lettering to the point that you can read an entire page of a book. You can get all of that in one picture in your eyeball. That's what it becomes. Once you get up to that, that's when you start training into doing that. You start training your peripheral vision by reading a book, and start reading a book, but look at a page and try to get all that page, the peripherals on the side and on the bottom and top, to be centralized. And you're going to notice that you're going to start seeing pages of a book as a whole. Then you move on to the Paleo Hebrew. You do that Paleo Hebrew, guess what, guys? You're going to start seeing spirits. You're going to start seeing items. Everything will contain a letter, and each letter represents something, and I'm going to go into that another time, because there's some letters that I know, some letters that I know, but I don't know what it represents, so I don't want to go too much into that. I don't think I'm going to do an episode about that one, because I only give you truth, so if I don't have full capacity to understand what each letter represents, I am not going to do an episode till I know it, and then I can deliver to you the truth. Otherwise, I'm just assuming, and I'm no better than the rest of these idiots. I'm giving you guys the absolute truth that has no assumption, that is fact. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. When I get to the point that I understand every letter, because I know a few, I'm due to experience, I'm going to make an episode about that later on down, God knows when. God willing, I'll do it down the line. But that's what happens. You start seeing letters forming on everything. Now, there's gonna be days that you're gonna want to shut it off, because what happens is when you wake up, you're gonna see a spirit going right here, and you're gonna start seeing energies in people, and you're gonna be like, what the hell's going on here? I'm walking down the street and I'm seeing somebody, because I used to, till I learned how to control it, see a person and a spirit that appears like a person walking up, and I would not be able to tell who is in the other dimension and who's in this dimension, because they looked exactly the same to me. And that becomes very problematic, and you need to know how to do the off switch. I used to bite on the side of my thing, causing me pain, because when I focus on the pain, for some reason, it takes it out and it shuts it off. But then I said, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm going to be like a psychopath. So how do you shut it off? Again, meditation. What you do is you just shut yourself off and you say, I don't want to pay attention to anything. I just want to focus on everything else. So what you do is you let out a little energy from your mouth when you do the belly breathing, as I taught in the episode before this, and in the anxiety videos that I've cured everyone with, using that because it's all about energy manipulation. What you do is, through your pierced lips, you imagine this blue ball going all around in your mouth, and purifying all the redness areas all around, and take about 30 minutes, let it out, and draw energy from the ground till it comes over here and fills you up everywhere in your body. When you have that kind of energy, you can merely go like this with your face, just like that. Give yourself a whip. You'll see, you'll kind of black out a little, and it just shuts everything off. And you'll start seeing things and just focus on what's in this world. Now, sometimes, which I'm going to teach you how to hear them, which I don't know if that's exactly a really good decision, but when you start hearing things from the spirit world, you're going to hear a bunch of words. This is why I'm only recommending that for people that already hear spirits, which is going to be the next episode. I think that's what we're going to do. But that's exactly what happens. You start to focus, and that's how you shut it off, and then start focusing on flesh of the people. Okay, start looking at the people, at just the flesh. Concentrate. If you guys are sexually attracted to someone, it's even easier. Like in a girl, you could look at her boobs, whatever does it for you. Anything that gives you a flesh sense that is of the flesh. And when you do that, this sexual organ starts, a woman probably looks at a guy's butt. I don't know what to tell you, but the thing is, it works. To me, I'm a little bit different, because it's weird, because I don't find any of the sexes attractive at all anymore, to the point because I'm so in tune with the spiritual that I am only interested in the spiritual, a spirit of the person itself, that I look at the energy. The energy is what attracts me. So it's not physical anymore with me. I don't know. I look at kids as like my kid, people as my kids. I don't know why, but ever since I was little, it was like that. And believe me, that was a nightmare as I grew up, and the mistakes I made, but I had to, because I try to be normal. But the thing is, right now, that's it's all about spiritual connection for me. So for me, if you guys are like that, which is very rare if it happens, but if you guys are like that, the best thing to do is to tell the energies of the earth that you're saying, I will not answer you anymore. I will not acknowledge you anymore. I will not care for you anymore. And you could yell to me all the way to tomorrow. I'm not going to do shit for you anymore. And in fact, I'm going to go out of my way to make it impossible for you. And then you could even threaten the ones that are real assholes with binding them, which I'm going to teach you in the other, fourth episode or fifth. I'm going to teach you guys how to bind things. And what happens is that will shut it off immediately, and you'll be able to control it. There still might be there, like I walk through. I mean, not everybody in the spiritual world is going to hear that, but you walk around and you see them and they're looking, but they don't bother you. So they only bother you if you acknowledge them, and then they come because they learn you're the telephone, but then you do the same thing, and that will be able to shut it off, okay? But for guys who are of the flesh, that find flesh attractive, all you do is look at the boobs if it does it for you, the legs of a girl, the face of a girl, focus on her eyeballs, the beautiful eyes. Women have beautiful, beautiful eyes. I love looking at their eyes. I could stare at any woman's eyes forever and just look at their souls right there. It just feels beautiful. It gives you a peace. Even the biggest ruthless women, I look at the most dangerous woman, I could look at them right in the eye and bring them peace. I really do. I look right into their eyeballs and they look into mine, and I just lose myself in their eyes and they lose themselves into my eyes, and before you know it, they're purified. They don't care about evil stuff anymore. It's because everybody has energies. They just don't know that there's other manipulations going on, other dibukim and other people, like I explained in my spiritual videos. Please go back. There might be a person that killed themselves, or a person that was killed in your house, doesn't even know you're there. They're reliving everything. That's why they walk through walls, because they're going through things that wasn't a wall back then. It was probably like a corridor where they walked through it. And they give you, because they're crying, that gives the energy, and then you cry for no reason. And it all happens where women are suckers, they're takers. So what happens, not suckers like that, but they suck and they take in a good way. But what happens is it becomes a vacuum, and you get all of these negative entities on you, and before you know it, it becomes very problematic. And for a man that gives energy, it could be exhausting, and also become problematic, because when you're weak, that's when the negative entities come at you. And, it becomes very problematic on that end. So that's how you shut it off, and that's pretty much how you hone in to your to seeing energy. Let me know what you guys think. This is episode 3. Episode 4, we're going to go over something else. Definitely comment below on things you want me to cover, things you want me to be more clear about. But, pretty much that's really what it is. Definitely subscribe. I want you guys to be the first ones to know when the next episode comes out, so you guys could always know. Remember, I promised you guys I was going to do this, and now I'm doing it. I find it controversial, and in a way, I don't want information released out there, because there's people like kids that are going to look at this video and say, oh, I want to do this. So to you children out there, don't open yourself up to a world that you're not ready for, because when you do that, there's no closing it. When your subconscious has blockages that were caused by cell phones, by internets, by being mindly sheep, by teachers and schools that are teaching you what the government wants to limit you. Yes, it's wrong to be closed up. It's wrong not to have these powers. But right now, unfortunately, this is what's happening, okay? And you need to do it in small increments, and you're not ready for it at your age. You need to be ready for it at like 35, I would say. Open yourself up to it. But those that already have it open and were born like that, this is how you do it. I'm not teaching you how to conjure. Conjuring is illegal. You're not letting souls rest in peace. And if you are clairvoyant and you are psychic in that ability, the last thing you want to do is conjure, because if you conjure, you don't know what you're doing, and guess what, there's going to be negative entities coming through that hole and going right after you, and before you know it, you're going to go mad. I don't want you guys to do that either. So kids, trust me on this. I know when I was a kid, I had this naturally, and I went deeper and deeper into things to try to discover things. And even though it came as a second nature to me, I tell you, it was hard to deal. Growing up, it was really hard for me to deal with things and to ignore things. But once you let those blockages go, your subconscious already knows what is truth and what is not. And it will never, never, ever, 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 ever close again. Some guy I know that closed it by having what was called temporary amnesia. This is actually very sad. He became so stressed out and so crazy, to the point that he forgot everything about himself. He didn't even know his name. And it happens from stress. It's a different type of amnesia. It doesn't happen from a knock in the head, but that. And he forgot. And somehow, even when he started gaining memories of things, we never filled his head and told him, this is spirits, this is that, this is that. And therefore, it never came back to him. I don't think it will come back to him, because he has the blockages again. But guys, trust me, you don't want to get into that. And it's very rare that'll even happen. A lot of people, the reason I'm doing these videos is because a lot of people has reached out to me and told me that they're suicidal, that they want it to stop, they want it to end. And I'm telling you, you are special, you are beautiful people, you are beautiful children of El Kadosh, the Lord God of Abraham, blessed be his name forever. And you've gotten these abilities for a reason, okay? And believe me, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to go over every episode. I'm going to teach you how to handle it, how to deal with everything, so you guys feel great, okay? See, I could feel a lot of that power, a lot of that energy, and I explained that in my other video, that it gives you anxiety, because I could feel the energy of people who suffer just talking about it, and I can draw energy from people, even from miles away, and it just, I can feel their pain. It hurts, because I know I was there when I was younger. Okay, so I'm telling you, this is how you deal with it. Your brother here is going to go over every little thing. Open yourself up to a world, if you're open already, and accept it. Try not to reject it too much, just accept it. I've rejected it my whole life, and even though I rejected it, somehow I got stronger. I have no idea how, because I did everything in my power to reject it, and for some reason, my skills even got even better, and that's why I looked at it as a curse. I didn't want to go that deep into things, but I just got thrown into a black hole, and it's happening whether I like it or not. So I'm learning to play with the cards I was dealt and learning to do good with it. And that's what I want you guys to understand. And you're going to learn to not really accept it. I mean, accept it, yeah. You're not going to really learn to love it. You're going to learn to tolerate it. Kind of like that apple cider vinegar crap I was teaching you guys how to defeat cancer and all that stuff, that cancer won't come to you by alkalizing your body by drinking apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar tastes like crap. And like I said in that other video, though, you're going to drink it, no matter how much you drink it, it's still going to taste like crap, but you're going to learn to tolerate it. Not like it, but tolerate it. Tolerate it. Exactly how this is. Okay, and when you tolerate it, you're going to feel good by helping people with these powers you were given. And that's going to make you feel amazing. All right? So definitely subscribe, tune in for the next video, next episode, whatever, episode 4, and we're going to get into something else, okay? We're going to go into that, and definitely comment below. Let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover, or also if there is anything you want me to make clear. I think I explained it a little bit, very simple, but, you never know. I speak like a motor mouth, and again, I'm really passionate, so I go all over the place. So definitely, if you want me to be more clear about things, let me know, but that's how you do it. Anyways, I love you guys. Definitely comment, subscribe. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.